I think I went to this kid's house once, and some kids get treated so differently. Like, you can go to some kids' houses and go, fuck, I've actually got it pretty good at home. Like, I'm like call child services. Then you can go to others, and it's like, kids, we've got crispy calamari for lunch.
And Krispy Kreme donuts that are filled with bacon.
Yeah,
and you're like, what?
What is this world?
I can't see it. I'm never going home.
Morokai with two eyes. We are back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7am on Spotify and 4:30pm on YouTube. Sibling hate.
We've all been there. Well, I don't know if we've all. I shouldn't say we've all been there. A lot of us have been there. Yeah. There are some definitely only childs.
Yeah. Oh,
so. But for the ones that do have siblings, yes.
Way to bring up bad memories.
No. We're not. We're moving past. There's no time for bad memories today,
mate. I look back when I was a kid. I can't remember hate I've had for someone as an adult as much as I had for like my little brother as a kid. There would be genuine anger.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm never talking to you again.
Oh, that happened all the time.
Let alone, which is so weird now, if you look back at it, knowing that you were in that mind space, you were like, I'll never fucking talk to you again. I fucking hate you.
There is Leave a car, the fuck alone. I might push him in front
now,
of it.
Yeah, exactly. Those intrusive thoughts of like, I just want to kill you. Yeah. Soon, now you today being an adult and you're actually living in a house with your brother. Yeah, like, the world's a crazy place.
No, yeah, when I was thinking about something, I know there was when I'd play video games, he'd always try to come in and watch. Oh. And I'd just be like, leave me the
They walk in front of the TV. You're like, fucking move.
Yeah, and they're bored, so they want to do something. And it's like, no, I'm happy with my alone time. Just leave me alone.
I want to play. So then you give them the controller. It's not plugged in. You're like, you are playing. Like, how come it's not shooting when I'm moving? You're like, I don't know. Yeah. Just have you ever like done that where like your parent comes into your room and like, what are you doing, mate? And you're just like, oh my God, like I'm clearly playing my game. You're just like, can I have a turn? And you're just like, all right then. And you just give it to them and they're just completely and utterly lost. Yeah. You're just like, what am I doing? Like my old man, which I know it's very sacrilegious to mention him on the podcast, but he got my mum for Easter this puffer jacket, and he doesn't do online shopping at all. Yeah, I'm playing Apex Legends, playing some ranked by the way, so it's like it actually matters if I die. Like, sort of thing. No.
Every woman who listens to this just rolled their eyes.
So, that's fine. Good on him. And
get on my level.
So I don't roll at them when they're playing Polly Pockets. So they can just settle down. And yeah, and he comes and he's like, mate, how do I do this? How do I order this online? And I'm like, because I know for a fact if I'm like, can you just wait? He's gonna crack the shit. Yeah. So I'm like, here, hold this controller. You just walk around. He's got my character, and the character's like looking up. He's like, what triangle am I? And I'm like, you're the green one. I'm like, you need to get to the orange and blue one. He's like, how do I do that? I'm like, just use this. I'm like, bloody hell. Sort of thing. But in saying that though, I know that like they didn't have that when they were young. It's like it's a whole new world to them.
It is a whole new world to them. That's what I try to. Every time my dad gets on a computer, it's a disaster. Like it's an actual train wreck. And I try to go, okay, I don't know much about cars. So if you lifted up the hood of a car, I wouldn't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, you'd be like,
I've got no idea what's going on.
I've never.
It's just not you.
But I have no experience. No one's ever been like, hey, mate, let me show you. I think my dad showed me a couple of times.
I feel like your dad would have showed you a couple of times and you just would have been like, yeah, cool, I'm going inside. If I've got any problems, I'll just call you and you can just deal with it. And then once it's dealt with, just see you.
I'll do your computer stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Relax.
We'll trade.
So that whenever he's just so lost, I think, okay, well, if I was in front of a car, you'd be the same, so relax. But the thing I wouldn't do, what he does, don't get out of that. No, don't get out of that. Don't click that. No, don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, mate, you've got 20,000 tabs open.
Yeah, I'm closing out of a virus. We don't need that up on the screen right now, so calm your fucking farm. And holding the mouse upside down is the one that triggers me the most.
Yeah, that's just weird.
It is weird.
That's so weird.
And going on eBay and telling me everything you own is worth thousands of dollars.
Have you seen like your parents as well? I'm not sure if your mum's the same or not. But like they just enlarge like all the text and the buttons and you're just like, yeah, what are you doing? And they sit there with their phone like up like this far. They're always like, I can't read that. And they pull the phone further away from them. I'm like, You're making it harder to read. What are you doing?
But yeah, that is definitely one. I think my dad has to have the larger numbers on the phone. But with if we go back to siblings, man, do you remember sitting in front of them and thinking, I wish you weren't alive?
Yeah,
I know how horrible that is.
Well, I remember when my brother was born, and he had like all the attention, and I think I was just incredibly jealous. I was like, why does everyone want to see him? What about me?
You're doing a little dance
Yeah,
in the
I'm
corner.
like,
Look at
little
Leroy.
like little Irish jog or like whatever they do, like where you like do the little kick. You're like, come on, look at me. Look at me, I'm busted here.
An Irish chick.
I think the best thing that I ever got, I remember like getting so angry, and then maybe like my grandparents took me to get like a toy. Oh yeah, that's right. We get a toy. I was so mad. Like I just remember being, and then they're like, "Oh, do you want to hold your brother?" I'm like, "What would I want that?" Like I just remember cracking the shits when I got asked that, and just having like a massive tantrum.
I think the one that would get me is if they constantly tried to get involved with your friends. It felt like such an invasion of privacy.
It really did. But then when their mates were around, you like, I don't know if you were the same, but I was very like, "Oh, what are you doing with your mates?"
No, I wouldn't.
Like, oh,
no, I thought
really?
his friends were losers.
Oh, well,
I got in trouble once massive because I found like a slingshot, and and I was trying to, when he was playing with his mates, I went out and I tried to like shoot them with a slingshot. And keep in mind, I would have been like 20 meters away, and I was shooting before the flower buds before they go into and they blossom. I'm shooting them, trying to hit them. I didn't hit it once. Did I get the biggest sit down talking to ever about how I could have got one of them in the eye from 20 meters away with a crappy slingshot? Do you remember those talks where you you sit back and you're slowly growing up a little bit? So you go, oh, I get that I'm in trouble, but you're kind of fucking pushing this a bit too far.
Yeah, you make it like, come on, when's that actually? I think you realise like it's like your next door neighbour's actually been hit in the eye by like it happened to me once. He's got an eye patch. You're like, oh, there it is. There's the guy. There's always one. You always had that chat though. Always, whether it be cutting. It's like, oh, don't run with scissors. I know someone that fell on scissors once. And it's like, there's always like that token person that's done something. It is just, it seems very far fetched. Like, yes, it can happen, but it's just like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
The teachers would always say that to you as well in school, like all the time. Don't lean back on your chair; you'll hit your head. Like, and you're just like, oh,
don't pick your nose; it'll bleed.
yeah.
That one was true. That happened to me a lot.
Hang your cross or your hair goes curly. Joke's on you, I have none. So,
man, some of the teachers would be. There was a big difference between a good teacher and a bad teacher. Like a cool teacher.
Yeah. One that really got like the lingo. Played some down ball or Foursquare for the freaks that say Foursquare. You're all freaks that say that, by the way.
Man, there was some teachers who loved being there and they just loved children. That was a bit weird.
You're like, they love children. And then you're like, actually.
I think I
enjoyed work. It's still weird. It doesn't matter what way you put it. It doesn't sound good.
I remember I had to go back once to primary school for like a little it was like a training program where once a week I'd go back to my primary school and help out with a couple of classes. And the first time I did it, the teachers invited me to just stay in what was it called, the staff room?
Yes.
Where they'd all have their lunch. That was the most depressing little area I've ever been in.
Really?
Oh, it was horrible.
I reckon it'd be worse when the teachers, if you're in, we saw it in high school, when all the teachers sort of congregate to like one, I guess it's a classroom really that they're all in for like their lunch and morning tea and all that. If you were in like one of those and you just didn't get along with any of the other teachers in there, that'd be hell. I'd be like, you guys all suck.
Do you know what I did think about a lot when I was a kid? I would see some bullying going on, and I was like, "Why isn't the teacher like the teacher could hear this? Surely you can hear this. Why aren't you stepping in? Like this kid's getting brutalized."
The teacher actually came in like, I dare to pick on Tony today. He looks like a fuckhead.
Wait, what are the odds you pick on Tony? 3, 2, 1, 15. You got him. Got to go get him. Go get him.
Well, I'm just going to pretend that I'm just... The teacher's just... You're like, miss, oh shit. And they're just like... on the keyboard. I can't hear, mate. I can't. I'm doing reports.
My school got so incredibly small that they've had to... I think it was like 200 students. You know, they're not even cracking the 50 mark. So they have to do classes, prep 1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4,
no, I don't like that.
and 5, 6. Imagine being a prep, trying to make friends with a kid who's 3 years older than you in your
Good
class.
luck.
Yeah.
Unless you got money. Good luck.
What do you mean?
Well, the more the parents had money to be like pay off like this grade 2. Could you imagine?
Oh, get
Mate,
off
we'll
it.
give you a
pay off
Yeah,
the
we'll give you a
kids.
chalky frog. If you just be mates with my son for a day and or daughter, you get a chalky, you get a caramel koala. Which I'm going to be honest, in grade 2, I'd say that's quite tempting,
Would you
especially if it's one of the big ones.
Would you want to kill yourself if you found out in high school your parents had been paying kids off to be friends with you?
You'd be devastated. Like,
So
I wonder why they always.
devastated.
I was wondering why they always had fairy bread at lunch.
You have like a classic catchphrase.
parents
Like, you remember potato cake rolls or something? It's like, Lukey's got his potato cakes, and everyone's laughing. You're like, that's a classic.
Yeah, it's so funny.
They stop making the payments one day, and you come in, Lukey's got his potato cakes. Everyone's just crickets.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
Just imagine like your parents as well, like just at the edge of school. They actually look sus. I was like, "Oh, kid, come here, take this. Pretend to be my son's that one there. Just fucking." Here you go. It's like, Dad, what are you? He drives off like real quick, sunglasses on, floor it.
Bro, there'd be some protective parents that would want to figure out a way to do that, wouldn't
Oh, there definitely would.
they? Yeah.
No doubt about it. If not, it's already been done somehow, some way.
I remember I thought I was such a badass for this. In primary school, there was a kid. We were friends, but there were so many moments we didn't get along. And he would obviously tell his parents whatever had happened that
Dramas,
day.
yeah.
Yeah. And his parents would straight away ring my parents.
I
and
hate
say,
that. I
"What-
hate that so much.
Why would you? And there was one that was justified. Once I remember I kicked a ball, and I'll go back to that story in a sec, but I kicked a ball so hard into this girl's face, and I was deliberately aiming, but you know how you never
don't actually mean-
you
like-
never really, it's so rare. So it was like that clip on Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory where that guy kicks the ball into that girl's face, and it was the second kick where he did it so incredibly hard that it just smacked her face, and this was with a hard basketball.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good.
So anyway, I'm just living my life, having a bit of fun when I'm home. Maybe riding my
Minding your own
bike around.
business.
Yeah, kicking the footy to myself. And my mum just burst into my room. Did you kick a ball into this girl's face? And I was like, just instantly drop into tears because I'm like, I'm being caught. And
You know.
and you know too that what will come is a punishment, but also you have to now go and apologise.
Yeah,
that
and
person next day.
the apology is always like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, say it like you mean it. Like, I do mean it. I'm sorry.
But the one before that, yeah, the kid, he would always get his parents to call up mine and complain about something. It could be so minor. And this one time, it was me, this kid, and another kid. And something happened along the lines of when he maybe stole a ball and I punched it out of his hands.
Nice.
But he said I punched him.
Oh,
So then my mum came in, and this was like the 5th time that I had
That
been
week.
accused of like bullying this kid. And I'm like, he's kind of part of my friend group. What's happening? And then usually it went like straight away I'd cry. Like I'd just cry my eyes out. I'm so sorry. And on the 5th time, I think I went, no, actually, hang on. Hold the phone. I said, that's bullshit.
you're like a tear, like sort of coming down. You're like, actually,
Sucks it back up. And I think I balls up straight away. I said, no, forget that. I'm like, can we go to his house and do this in person? My mum's like, yep, let's go. And like drags me to the car. I'm all pumped up. We get there. He's sitting on the couch crying. I sit on the couch, just burst into tears trying to tell my side of the story. But
so that's sort of, I just have that vision of that video where it's like, I love you.
those little primary
Did you
school
ever have
fights.
those in primary school where you'd be hanging out with like a mate? Like you'd have your friendship group, but then like another mate in the friendship group wanted to hang out with the mate that you want to hang out with. So then like you and that mate would fight. 'Cause you're like, no, I'm catching up with him. And they'd be like,
What?
no, I'm catching up.
I would fight.
Yeah, like over to who could hang out with like that friend. Because you both wanted to,
Yeah.
and that friend was like, I don't really care where I'm going. I just want to be with someone.
Mate, there was
And you'd be like, no, I invited him first. It's like, well, he said that he wants to stay at mine. You're like, that's not what he said. It's like back and forth.
But I remember that when I went into high school, I made friends with 2 kids, and those 2 kids were so incredibly close, and it sucked because I would try to they would catch up every single weekend, and you try to
Yeah,
get
you're like
invited.
such a cool friendship.
Yeah.
Like, I want that.
Yeah, but you want to be included too, because it felt like a friendship of 3, but you were like hardly invited anyway. And if you did, it was like, oh my God. Remember, fuck man, do you remember bad sleepovers with kids that you just realise when you're at their place, oh, I don't gel with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I went with one kid and he just showed me entire video series and he wouldn't let up. He wanted to watch the entire thing. Like the minute I got over, the entire season. I can't remember what it was because it was so boring. And every episode looking over, how good's this? Do you like it? Don't you like it? Do you like it though? And I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, play another
Yeah,
episode, mate. I'm keen as.
Just do it. It's fine.
Oh, Mum's got vegetable samosas. If you want a vegetable, you don't want one. I think Mum would really like it if you had one. Do you want my mum to be mad? Because she's going to be mad if you don't have one.
When I went to, I think I went to this kid's house once, and some kids get treated so differently. Like you can go to some kids' houses and go, fuck, I've actually got it pretty good at home. Like, I'm not call child services. Then you can go to others and it's like, kids, we've got crispy calamari for lunch.
And Krispy Kreme donuts that are filled with bacon.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
What is this world?
I can't see it. I'm never going home.
Man, there was a couple of times that happened. And I think I went to this one kid's house. The crispy calamari was one. I'm trying to think of what the other one was. Yeah. Oh, that's right. His parents made like coloured pancakes.
Oh, wow.
Like the pancakes were all colourful and they were the best pancakes I've ever had. I just felt like I was in heaven. And then you go back to your house and you just hate your parents.
I remember going to one mate's place and he had like, there was his house, but he had like the downstairs and it was like a full bathroom, like a massive bedroom.
Yep.
He had like probably like this setup here that we have today, like this lounge room and stuff like that
his
to
own
himself.
area,
yeah, like he would have like the whole front half is what he had underneath his house. And I just remember he's like, my parents suck, man. Like I just hate it here. And I'm like, hate it here? I'll live here. This place is fucking awesome. You got your own place. You're not in your parents' way. You can come and go as you please. You got a bloody pool out there. You got a tennis court. I'm like, what's there not to love? And you don't want to be here.
I was the worst kid. You know how, let's say that crispy calamari scenario, right? If most kids, when you go over, even though that's exciting, you're very polite about it. Like you go, okay,
you're not going to get too ahead of yourself.
Bro, I took advantage so much. I remember I went to one kid's house and his parents just had bulk mangoes. And a mango to me was like a delicacy.
Yeah.
I think I ate like 10 mangoes that night.
I remember that bad.
Bro, I was on the bathroom after that. It was so bad.
It's like whenever like my parents would invite people around for like a coffee or a tea and Mum would always break out the Tim Tams. Mate, I'm a slut for a Tim Tam. So, and I'd just be like, I'm like, I'd be like, I'm my 6th Tim Tam. And Mum's like, I think you've had enough. I'd be like,
you've got guests over, Mum. You don't want to overreact, do you?
Yeah. It's just like, and all that. And then even as an adult now, if I see a cheese board, mate, if I see some bream, some camembert, but I never want to be the first person to the cheese board. I wait. I'm like, oh, so we can go to the cheese board? And then I'm like, bang, 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 like all the cheeses, some bickies, like some prosciutto and all that. And then as soon as I bite it, I'm like, yeah, I'll go back again. I'm really bad.
I don't know where I heard this from, and it's stuck with me forever. And now I can't stop. I saw somewhere where it's like, if someone offers you something, never say no. Just accept it. Right?
Yeah, right.
Bro, I go, so if there's...
you've taken it to the next level.
I've taken it to the next level. If someone offers me like, oh, do you want me to pay for your lunch? I just don't say no anymore. You know how the polite thing is? No, mate,
it's all good, mate. I'll get myself.
Mate, that's so nice to even offer. No, I'm like, yeah, I'll get a schnitzel roll, maybe a couple of things.
Bro, I know. That'd piss me off. Even as your best, mate. If you pulled that shit. It's like, wait, man, do you offer?
If I did empty offer.
Do you want me to get that? Yeah, I mean, if you could. Bro, while you're at it as well, actually a bit low on ice cream, so if you want to get that for me too.
Bro, people at work, they're always like, you want a coffee? And I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Like, your tab's fucked, mate.
My tab
your day's coming. Yeah. There was always that one kid that you go to high school with as well, who was always just like, hey, look, I know that you've been coming with me to the canteen, and I know that I've been saying that I was going to spot you, but you kind of owe me $90. You're just like, where's this come from? They've got their note section. It's like, yeah, see, on Wednesday, actually, the 24th of April, yep, $10.50 there. Bag of gummy worms, that was $2.
Yeah. Do you know what? Because you're my mate, I'll take off that 50 cents.
But yeah, but don't push your limits.
Yeah, but I don't know, bro. So if the latest work gathering I went to, there was a cheese board. I went nuts on it, right? And then
You have to, though. It's a cheese board.
But then at the end, there's like a caramelized pear.
Ooh.
So all the cheese board's done, but I know there's still a caramelized pear there. So I'm just cutting up the caramelized
Well, you don't want it to go to waste.
Bro, I'm going next level with when people offer me things. I'm taking everything. Everything and more. Like, if you said to me, do you want a coffee? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And you might think, fuck, bro, come on. Like, this person's just offered you a coffee to be nice. I'll be, like, sitting there, and they'll be like, I'm going to get a muffin. You want one too? But I don't even eat them, but sure, man, I'll get a muffin as well. Just accept,
The muffin
bro.
just sits there on your desk the whole day.
Bro, do you know what is the worst part about it too? And I know I'm a little fiend for this, but say that cupcake scenario, and I don't like cupcakes. I don't want one. But I know that someone in my life would, so I'll grab it to save it, to give it to someone else.
I hate you so much. I actually, it's a strong H on that hate, mate. That's just... so bad.
In a way, I like to think I'm teaching people, if it's an empty offer, don't get upset. All right?
I feel like this is going to... I would love to sit down again in a couple of months' time and see,
do you know
see how much it bites you on the arse.
Do you know the only person I don't do this with is my dad? Because...
Oh, he goes to the extreme, though, to be fair.
Oh, it basically...
Oh, you want a new jet plane? I mean, yeah, all right, if you go.
Because my brother's getting a new car from him. He's been pretty much hinting, do you want a new car? Because I can't have one son I owe more to than the other. But the thing is, my brother's had to go to his house every Sunday for the last, 6 months.
Why don't you just get him to pay the mortgage? Like,
Probably
actually, I
could if I
don't want the car. If you want to just help me pay that out.
Bro, because I just got a call from him again before. And do you know what that call is going to be? It's every 2 days because he's hurt himself.
Oh, okay.
And I know for a fact that it's just going to be, how you doing? Same as the other day, mate. Again, thanks for a reminder that I live a very uneventful life. How's the car? And yeah, again, didn't drive it because it's been only 2 days and I've been at home. And I'm not kidding before we go. My nightmare scenario,
Rocks up here uninvited.
What are you doing? No, is if he finds out about this podcast and starts listening to episodes. Because there's a reason I don't tell him a lot. Because he freaks out over everything. So he'll freak out over any scenario, anything. I couldn't have it. I just couldn't. So I had a massive workplace drama the other day. And I told you about this.
Yeah.
If I told him about it,
he
would call me after the call.
And then call your work.
And then call me at work and be like, is everything okay? And I'll be like, again, I'm not that type of person. It's fine. I'm just telling you to tell you. But he would worry about it 20 times more than me. And I'd just be like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
What have I done? It's a can of worms that never had to be open. Isn't it weird that we always call it a can of worms?
Let's hope I never get fucking shanked or something. Cause
I hope not.
Fuck me. The freak out would be next level.
You're still bleeding? I don't know. Why are you talking to me, mate? I'm in
the wound.
I'm in surgery. I kind of can't answer a phone call right now. Yeah, but you didn't even try to pick up. It's not with me. It's with my missus. Yeah, but she didn't try to answer. She's in here with me.
Oh, guys, that was Morokai Twice. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.